Hello everyone. In this video I'm doing something really exciting for my Kawasaki Z1000 because I just got this carbon fiber fender extension for the front fender, and that's what I'm going to install today onto my front fender of my 2010 Kawasaki Z1000. And over here you see is actually all the materials needed for this installation. So this thing doesn't, because it's aftermarket part, it doesn't have any screws to affix it to the front fender of my bike. So what I'm using is epoxy glue, which is super strong glue for gluing ABS plastic and all other kind of stuff. And other tools you need is some grip, I don't know how to call those, the clamping grips, and to actually clamp the thing onto the fender when it's actually gluing. I have various sizes available, and of course I have some sandpaper to roughen the surface that's going to be used to glue onto the fender, which is around this area. So I'm going to sand it down. I'm using 150C fine grit sandpaper. It's generic, and it's going to make a rough surface, which is great for gluing all the kind of stuff using epoxy glass. Of course, don't forget your pair of gloves. You can use vinyl gloves or the nitrile gloves, or rubber gloves, whatever you like. So those are the tools I need for gluing the fender. And the first thing first is I'm gonna actually go outside and take the fender out of my bike, so I can take the fender in and sand down the fender, of course, as well around this area, and then glue it in. So let's get started. Alright, so here's my trusty Z1000. Of course, before I do everything, I always fully clean my bike first. And especially important for this project, because for the glue to glue properly and permanently, you need to have a really clean surface. So that's why I cleaned my bike all the way, and now it's ready to go. So we are gonna remove the front fender of the bike, which is also super easy. So basically the first thing I'm gonna do right now is remove this little cover for the front suspension, and then it's going to expose some screws inside to remove the fender. All right, so to remove the front suspension, of course, you just need two very easy tools. You need a wrench size 10, and you need a size 5 hex wrench. The hex wrench, yeah, whatever you call it. So I'm going to remove the bottom part first. Of course, it's still a little wet from the cleaning. It'll dry up fairly quickly. And make sure you don't lose the washers, plastic washers. I mean, if you lose it, go to Ace Hardware and get some replacement. So I'm gonna lose this little reflector. On some bikes, you don't have this reflector. You have another 10mm bolt, which is easier to remove, but in this case it's also very easy. So I just lose it and I just rotate, and this part should come off. Again, there are some washers, so don't lose it. If you don't have a washer on yours, get some washers, that helps. Okay, so let's see if I can remove this now. See, now it's already fairly loose. I think there's another thing attaching this to the fender, so let's remove the other side and take a look. Let's see, find a good angle. Okay, so exactly same thing on this side. Use a 10mm socket wrench, bolt. Again, don't lose the washer. I'm gonna lose my reflector. And as you can see, this whole thing is already starting to move around. So I think the brake line is actually attached to a clip on this thing, so we have to remove the brake line as well. But let me put those aside. Alright, as you can see now, the whole thing moves around. Okay. Let me see how do I take it out. It looks like the brake line is connected to a clip right over here. So I'm going to remove that clip. Okay guys, I was able to get one side out first. I was trying to figure out the type of the little clip they use. So it's this kind, it's a split clip. So basically you just need to wriggle it a little bit, like so when you take it out you just twist it a little bit like that, and then it should come out like fairly easily. So let's try on the other side, and then we can remove the whole fender of the bike. So I'm gonna turn the bike the other way around, and then of course gonna wriggle it just a little bit. See if I can take it out. Might have to use two hands, that's why in the video it's not gonna work that good. So I may just pause the video and use two hands to take it out, and then continue with the fender install. Alright, again, it's the same thing. Just need to wriggle it around so it doesn't align, and then you push it out like that. Okay, so both clips are removed, and now the fender should be free to go. I'm just gonna pull it out. Let's see, I'm gonna put the phone on the stand. Let's see how I can take it out. Alright, now it's out, and next step, gonna remove the side fender. Right here there are two Phillips screws. I'm just gonna loosen it, and I'm gonna take this centerpiece inside my house and start gluing the fender extension. Okay, another thing I want to mention is that this side fender, obviously there are two screws, but once you unscrew those, there are actually a clip holding it together. So even if you unscrew, it's still gonna stick there. And make sure when you remove it, don't yank too hard, and just find the direction of the clip and pull it out gently from the reverse side, and it should come out fairly easily. So there is a clip inside. I'll show you guys. Right here there are two clips. So when you pull out, just be careful and you pull it out on the reverse direction of how the clip is secured, and then it should come out. And to put it back in, it's same thing. So take it out, just gently pry. Okay. All right, now my fender is off. So I'm gonna take it. Actually, I'm gonna clean it very well first, and then take it inside. Okay, now the underside of the fender is cleaned. I am ready to actually go ahead and start sanding both this area as well as my fender extension. Okay, here is my fender extension. As you can see, it fits nicely on the underside of the front fender, and as you can see, I already used the grip to hold it there, grip clamp, and so the underside is like that. I have this Sharpie because I'm gonna make a mark so I know where to sand it off. So I'm just gonna draw a line right over here. Alright, so I know where to sand. Okay, so I'm gonna remove it off. that's the area I'm gonna sand, as well as this glossy part. Okay, I just took a small piece of sandpaper, 150 grit, that's what I'm gonna use, and I'm just gonna start sanding this part and the underside of my fender. By the way, if you have a different bike, this should work exactly the same. Cleaning the fender, remove it, and then sand the underside, and then sand this side and glue it together. So there's nothing more tricky about that. It's a very simple process, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start. Sand those clear coat. So make it really gritty. So I'm gonna go all directions and just start sanding, grinding away. And of course, don't sand too much to this area because that area is exposed. So just be careful. Taking a look at the fit, make sure you're not sanding the part that's exposed, which I did slightly, my bad, but hopefully it's not very noticeable. Okay, so keep sanding. So it's mainly gonna be the area in the groove, not extruding, so right over here I'm gonna do it like gently around this area. So this looks about right. So this part is done. I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding the fender. It's better to have some support. Okay, so I'm gonna just do it like that. So of course I'm gonna come back and update you guys once I finish sanding, because it's gonna take a while. Okay, just done. You can see this side is very gritty and matte finished now compared to the rest of the under fender. It's basically pretty much primed and ready to go, so I'm gonna wash it one more time to wash off all the sanded off material, and then we can finally attach the two pieces together and call it a day. All right, so double check, everything looks nice. So I didn't sand off too much area into the glossy over here, only slightly right over here, which is fine because I mainly use this because my radiator gets really clogged up and dirty after I ride in the rain, so this would definitely help. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna wash it and then we're gonna go inside and actually glue the two pieces together. Okay, now we're inside. I'm actually cleaning all the parts, all the sanded area one more time with 90% alcohol, just to make sure it's perfectly clean, because I don't want any, I want it to have a super strong bond for the epoxy. All right, and a lot of people, when they use epoxy and they say it doesn't bond well, that's because they didn't clean the surface good enough. All right, so now it should be super clean, ready to go. So of course the epoxy, it's a 2-part mix, and this one of course is brand new. Basically you can use let's see, let's just open it first. And of course it comes with a fairly detailed instruction. So you can use this part as your temporary mix. Okay, so there's a little mix tray, and right here, sorry, you can use it right here. And of course a little wooden mixer, and this is a 2-part, and basically when you squeeze, the equal amount comes out and comes over here, and you mix it up, and once it's mixed up very nicely, it's ready to be applied. Make sure you wear gloves and apply it very evenly onto the surface. Okay, so let's get started. Right, I have my epoxy here, and of course it's brand new, haven't been opened. So first thing first, you need to make sure you point it up and snap the tip open and push the extra air out, because you want a even mix for both sides. Okay, so let's wait and see. Okay, I just popped it open. And this is a one-time use epoxy. There's no way to close the lid, so whatever you use, extra ones, it's gonna be wasted. So use whatever you need. Gonna keep pushing, get the air out. Stir a little air bubble in there. Push it out. All right, now it's about even. So I'm gonna squeeze out equal amount into this little tray. It's basically resin and hardener all together. So I'm gonna squeeze enough amount for the first apply, and I'm gonna mix them for 20 seconds. Okay, put it over here. So do a good mix. So basically I have about 5 minutes to get the whole bottle, or most of the bottle, out onto the cap, the fenders. Okay. So basically, this is the first set. Kind of smells funny. Alright, now it should be mixed fairly well. I'm gonna apply it. I think I'm gonna apply to the side, to the extended fender. So you scoop it up. Oop, already dripping. And apply it evenly. So it looks like that little amount is only enough for not much of the cover. So next round I'm going to mix a little more. maybe it's enough. Not sure. I may have to just mix a little more. As you can see, there's still a little bit on the top that needs to be coated. And I'm pretty much out for the first batch. Okay. So I'm gonna mix a little more, and then I'm gonna reapply. Okay, so I may have to do it quick, so let's do it. All right, that seems to be enough. So let's mix the thing again. Time is of essence, okay? Because the longer you wait to bond it, the less effective it will be. So I'm gonna mix this batch for about 20 seconds. Mix nice and well. And I'm gonna just apply the last batch. And then of course I'm gonna fix the extender to the fender. Okay, all right, looks about right. Okay, let's do it. Do it quick. Trying to get all the grooves covered so there's no water leak onto the interior of the bond. That will be no good. Alright, that seems about right. Okay. So everything's nicely coated. Now it's ready to be applied. It's ready to be bonded. Alright, let's do it. Okay, double check, make sure it's very nice and evenly coated. And moment of truth. Let's go. Of course, I'm gonna stick it onto here. And of course, bond it really well. Alright, let's see. And then I'm gonna use my clamp and just clamp it nice and hard. So in about 5 minutes, I should have a nicely done fender extender installed. Okay, another clamp. I'm giving it a good amount of pressure. So now it's clamped, and as you can see, no extra glue is splitting out. Might apply a few more. Make a small little one right over here. So just make sure the edges are clamped nicely. Clamping right here. Good. One more on the other side. Sorry, the sound just went out, so it's fairly dark inside. I apologize for that. But your basic installation instruction shouldn't be changed at all. Should fairly be similar, even for different bikes. Just make sure you affix them really nicely onto the fender. Okay. So you can see there are some that's squeezing out, so I'm gonna just smooth it out, and it's already starting to harden. So let me apply a few more onto the edge on the interior side, just to seal it. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm gonna seal around this area and just use my hand to seal it. Since I got all those extra epoxies, nowhere else to use it. And that way the water wouldn't be able to go in from this area, you know, and weaken the bond. Alright, that looks about right. Okay, I'm gonna smooth it out with my hand one more time. Yep, I can already tell it's bonded nicely. So we give it 30 minutes, and then after 30 minutes it should be all set and ready to go. I'll leave it like that. Okay. So in about 30 minutes I'm gonna go outside and install the fender outside and let it cure for a little bit, and hopefully I can ride it to work tomorrow. So this part is done, or actually most of the part is done. And of course installation is going to be reversed. Just put the bolts back on, put the fender back onto the bike, and reattach the ABS hose line if your bike have one attached to the fender, and then you have it. So if you guys have any questions about, you know, installing a fender extender for your motorcycle, feel free to ask me in the comments section, and I'll try my best to answer you guys. Otherwise, I hope you find this video helpful, and if you guys have any questions, do ask. And please hit like or subscribe if you find this video helpful, and thank you so much again. Alright, so moment of truth. It's about 30 minutes past now, and I'm gonna just go ahead and unlock all the clamps and see if it actually bonded nicely or not. So as you can see, all the epoxy is hardened, and so hopefully whatever's inside should also be hardened as well. Let's take a look. So right over here you have the finished product. There are some extra leaks right over here. Maybe I'll find a way to clean it. Let's see if I can focus. No, it's hard to focus. Okay, just want to go outside and have a look on the edges. All right, so now we're outside. As you can see, there's a little bump over here, a little glue that's being squished out. I think I can just remove it by hand. Yeah, so I just removed it by hand. I think on the other side, it's pretty nice. There's no extra leaks anywhere, and of course the joint right here is really nice. So there you have it, and you can see I actually sealed around this area, use extra glues so the water doesn't go through. But when it's going to be put on the bike, it's going to look so good. And of course, not only good, but it's super functional, because it actually helps blocking a lot of water picking up by the tires from hitting the radiator. So next step, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the fender and reattach all the bolts and stuff. Okay, so now it's time to put the entire pieces back together after I've put the two ears onto the front fairing. Basically I'm just gonna put it back on the bike and do a final fitting check, and then this project should be complete. Alright, so the entire sorry about the noise. So the entire installation is complete. I've put everything back together. Basically, this entire piece is held by 4 screws, 2 on each side. And right here is the extended fender. As you can see, it sticks there nicely. And of course, my radiator will no longer be messed up after the rain during the ride, and this is a huge plus. So and it's very, how do you say it, inconspicuous, whatever you call it. So it's not very obvious, but you have the protection over there. Even if you like turn it all the way, it shows up just a little bit. So there you have it. If you have a different bike, the installation should be similar. The most important part is that you have to make sure the surface is really clean before you glue the two pieces together for a very strong bond. Alright, so if you guys have any questions about installing a front fender extender, for that matter, the rear fender extenders work about the same. So very easy and very simple process. So I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you do, please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll try to put out more similar videos like this one. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.